Perfect. Thank you for making me host. Wait, all right. Let's switch to share my screen. You guys have a good weekend?
Yes.
Beautiful. Always a pleasure to see everyone on Monday with these familiar faces. And good morning.
Good morning, Christophe.
Hey everyone.
And how are you? How is the weather there?
It's almost like spring.
I like the positivity in the terms.
I always say I'm in Montreal, for those that don't know, in Quebec, and I don't get my hopes up until May, and so mid-May I'm feeling pretty good. That is weather-wise.
Hey Miguel.
Hi.
How many people do we have so far? As soon as I go into full screen, I can't see number of participants. Can anybody tell me how many people we have?
15.
15. All right. We generally always end up around 25, something like that. So people join a little bit late, but you guys join on time, so I don't want to make you wait too long, 11:02. Right. David, what do you say we get started? What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it. Do we have any new members joining us today? If so, raise your hand. It looks like not. Yeah, I mean, Christophe, do you want me to lead, or you can go ahead, get it started
I'll
then?
get you started. We'll do the news. I saw you got the news from Xavier. All right, so today we'll go to the news. So I think David and I will take you to the news like we did last week. And please add your own news. We'd love to see what articles, what else you found very interesting. Then as we always do, say, hey, what do you want? What's something this week that you learned that you liked, or what's an issue that you're going through, a challenge, and let's see if we can exchange information together. Then we are going to, David is going to show us, he has been using Lovable, and he's going to show us different possibilities to use Lovable application, and or he's using it himself for some part of his business. Sorry, somebody? No. And then we'll go after that. So we'll ask a few questions, and then we'll move into the breakouts, and you can see the topics here with you. So if you want to continue to talk about Lovable, the integration and so on, please go to this one. If you have a business challenge or something you want to discuss around business, that's the one. And then you have the usual ones, the ethics, education, tech development, and health, all available to you. So let's go ahead and get started and jump into the news of the week. So first item, Google Last Gemini model can watch 30-second screen recording and instantly, I'm reading right now, recreate the app's no code, just no code tools, just at warp speed. So what that means? It means that you can now clone full apps from one screen recording. That means faster prototyping, faster client delivery, and less reliance on developers. David, do you have anything else on that one piece of news that you found?
These are from Shabir, and yeah, so actually, okay, so I'm going to, if you don't mind, so like I feel like the theme right now with all this news is software at the speed of thought. So a lot of these, the four news items here are all kind of that. And also my presentation about Lovable is, I think also the same theme where it's like you think of software and then you can create it in minutes. And yeah, so software at the speed of thought. I created this graphic. I wanted to show it.
We're not seeing your screen, David.
Oh, are you or no?
No.
Oh, really?
I saw the graphic.
Yes.
Oh,
Hold on.
Yep.
What do you guys see now?
Yes.
Now I see it. Now I see it.
Yeah, I see it again. Yeah.
all right.
All right. Sorry, I didn't see it on my bad.
Yeah, software at the speed of thought. And yeah, I mean, so these items were brought by Shabir, and so I didn't actually like see this. Did anybody watch a video of this, the 30-second screen recording, instantly rebuilding an app?
No.
Oh, okay, yeah. I feel like it'd be useful to like have a demo or something like that. But it sounds cool. And yeah. All right, Christoph, do you want to share your screen again? I'll see if I can like
That's why
pull it.
stick with these ones. They are the same. We were the same. We have the same thing. So just to keep it easy. The next one is the Midjourney. What they did is with one single photo, you can get endless on-brand image of different setting. No reshoots, no needed. So what, in theory, what that means, again, I haven't tried this one myself, is that your e-commerce or your marketing team can generate campaign based on one single photo. They can create it in multiple ways, so you don't have to work on productions of multiple photos. So it's kind of what you're saying. It's creating faster, better, more rapidly with less information. Anybody tried? Anybody has any reference on this one? All right, so let's jump into the third one, NVIDIA Parakeet. And it's a basic private speech to text. So let me read the information with you. Parakeet is a new open source transcriber that runs locally, covers speech to text in milliseconds, and remove usage fee. So yeah, you can transcribe team meetings, interviews, podcasts instantly, privately, and because you can do it on your server, you can with no cost, no cloud, and delays. And I know they made all these codes available in GitHub. I've looked for an application that uses them as of now. I've not found one. Anybody on this one?
I've been just really enjoying the Zoom transcription feature and just like the power that can come from a meeting on Zoom and taking the transcript, and then you like have a conversation. And then I've been using Lovable to like, well, ChatGPT as the intermediary. So like take a transcript and then give it a ChatGPT and then be like, design a website based on this transcript. And then it does that and then put that to Lovable. And then like, boom, from like one 30-minute or 1 hour conversation, you have like a full website. So I think transcripts in general are like super powerful, and not many people really are using this yet, at least. Yeah. Any other shares?
Well, this kind of interesting because it would be really good to find something that could, if I do an article or something like that, to actually generate a LinkedIn post and possibly a video as well, because it's such a drag to create, professional quality videos to get attention on LinkedIn. I don't know if anyone's come up with anything like that.
Yeah, totally. Like if you have a transcript, it can turn into a LinkedIn post using ChatGPT. Definitely. Is
Yeah.
that what you're referring to, or what you're
Well, yes, but it would be good if it could actually create something with a lot of visuals or video in it, because it's such a drag to, for me at least, to create lots of videos. And that's what gets attention on LinkedIn.
Mm.
In theory, you can do that already today. You can multiple requests in chat. Take this transcribe it into a post. Then, based on this, create a video of that format that represent, and then give it a theme. And you should be able to do that already today, whether in multiple steps. What do you think, Mark? What are you saying?
Yeah, maybe I'll give it a shot, but I think I want something more dynamic than a transcript and just a visual.
Because
Yes.
I did watch that. I was watching some demonstration. I started doing some make. I use make.com myself the other day, and I was looking literally at some demos. That's exactly what they were doing. But they were not doing a transcribe in that case. They were using articles online, creating a transcribe for X, for Lincoln, and name it. And then another job, the next job was create a picture. And they had different set of pictures. So these were already in the process. Would they get better? Would they get more specific?
Yeah, I've certainly done some of that, and I use it a lot. I mean, it's another news item perhaps, but today I don't know if you know, there's around 7,000 stories on cybersecurity each month, and there are gems in there. So I actually threw 250 of them at Chat GPT and asked it to give me the top 5 stories, which I did this morning and posted. So that kind of thing works really well. There's, perhaps I should wait to the end of this, but there's another one I want to alert people. I put the link in the chat as well. Should I go ahead on? Oh, wait.
No, I mean, go ahead. You're saying.
Yeah, so there's something called ONUG, which is the Open Network User Group, and it's a networking group for both enterprises and the supply chain for them. And there's a meeting every twice a year, and the next one is coming up in about a week in about 2 weeks' time. And I put the link to the agenda on there. You'll see a lot of luminaries are speaking there, and it's possible, I think, for people to get an online invite to it. But have a look at the agenda. It's the kind of thing that the networking industry is doing, particularly with a big focus on AI and how to implement it. It usually shows you what the enterprises and the top vendors, whether it's Splunk or Cisco, are actually doing in that space. So go check it out and see if it's of interest.
Cool. Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate you send the link, all of us. Which day? So 28th.
Yeah, 28th and 29th is when the 2 main days are.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, we'll see if we can get in. I'm sure there's some cool stuff there.
I think if you are, quote, educational, you have a reasonable chance getting in. Otherwise, the in-person is a fee for the in-person event.
Cool. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. It's quite interesting, actually.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we'll put it as well. If you can, Mark, if you don't mind, just put it in chat as well.
I did.
WhatsApp. I mean, not chat. WhatsApp.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Thank you.
It's and I participate in this in what's called the collaborative in that group to bring on new projects. It starts with what the enterprise are faced with, and then looks to see how AI implementations of NOC, SOC, and the Network Operations Center and Network as a Service and such like are actually need to be understood in AI terms and how to implement them. And there's a bunch of enterprises speaking in this event as well.
Thank you. I'm sure we'll do a debrief after that one.
Yeah.
Anybody else has any comment on this speech to text? Anybody has tried to use it? Anybody will try to use it soon? All right, it's free, local. So if you're a programmer, it can be, if you have your own server. I'm talking about programming. So the last piece of news was from OpenAI that bought Windsurf. So they basically hired the top AI coder, and that will supercharge ChatGPT ability to write, test, deploy real apps. So the idea for them here is to be able to go and from idea to full stack, all within ChatGPT, no team dev required. So it's kind of what you were saying, David. It's kind of this evolution in going and to do coding without coding. So 2 of the 4 topics of this week alone are on this one, and we can expect to see more and more of this. That with vibe coding as well, and so on. Anybody? I know we have quite a few people doing their own coding on this call. Anybody has any view into that, or any question or comments?
Yeah, I played with both Replit and Windsurfer in the last couple of weeks. I find them about the same, though. Somebody recently felt Windsurfer was better, so congratulations to OpenAI for doing that. I demonstrated for my father how easy it is to actually set up a website over the weekend. Let me share the. Did you get? Yeah, there we go. So I asked him, like, what kind of online website would you like to create? And he said, let's do a toy store. So I fired out research on the 4 top LLMs. And they went off and spent anywhere between 5 to 20 minutes actually pulling stuff together. Gemini did the best job. So I put all 4 of them together, stuck it to Gemini and said, help me create a store with segments and do some, finish off the competitive research and so forth. And it did it. Dropped it into Replit. I say it's getting really good. This is an interactive website. It's got a login for admins, some basic analytics on the back end. It set up a database and simple input output for the database. I went so far as to actually start looking for white label B2B backend toy suppliers. Failed to find any in the US, but there were a bunch of them in Europe, and with APIs that you could set up. And so I was like 2 steps away from launching the silly thing. All I needed was the Stripe interface, which I'm told Replit does a pretty good job of, and a backend to be able to populate the database. So I was, and this is no code. I didn't write a single line of it. And then on the, this was my from my wife.
Hi, Mommy. Happy Mother's Day. Yay, yay, yay. Meow, meow. We love you all the way to moon and back. Purr, purr, purr. You can pick me up. May I have a special snack now?
Wow.
This is Hedra. And again, it took a couple of times to get it to use the mouth correctly, but it's quite the party trick. So
That was intense.
Isn't that fun? Yeah.
I think you found my answer to my LinkedIn post. Use the cat.
There's something about cats and the internet, that is for sure.
Yeah.
True.
I love it that it's always, what you showed us with the website, where in matter of, yes, you did in 10 minutes each, they found the solution, then they created the code, but you were able, very little investment of your time to help that. And at the end, what we are excited about, ooh, look at the cat.
Look at the cat.
Human nature is amazing. So what for the database, for the one, what would you have to put in the backend to have this website working, Mark?
It actually has its own data. Replit has a database that you can attach it to.
Got it. So then, and then you have to pay them just to be able to use it.
Exactly. I mean, obviously I wouldn't host it there long term, but it built all the interactions, built the analytics, basic analytics. I was quite pleased, actually. I was kind of surprised, but it's the ability to combine all this research, and then actually do a website. This took an hour and a half or so, like 90 minutes to pull together. It was insane.
I don't suppose it built it as a WordPress site, did it?
I don't know what it did as actually. I don't think I chose WordPress actually. It gives you some options. I think it was,
He has his hand raised. Would you like to say something?
Let me stop.
Yeah. So between Replit and Windsurf is really best if you've done development before, but it doesn't really help you with deployment. Replit is really good with deployment. So So one thing like what I've done is I've taken code that I've put together with Windsurf or Cursor and just send it over to Replit to actually deploy. So because it's much easier.
It's interesting. Yeah.
You have to figure it out if you're using Windsurf or Cursor, you just have to figure it out based on your framework how you're going to deploy it on your own. So that requires some expertise. But at least Replit can, if you upload the files into Replit, Replit can sort of figure it out for you.
Oh, I just want to comment a little bit about the history that I know that AI want to buy Cursor first and they deny the transaction, and now they buy Windsurf, but Cursor is going to receive a lot of money also. So I think that it could be I don't know if it can survive the open AI, but things are getting like, I don't know, every week, every day. I don't know. This week, like just hearing that OpenAI bought Windsurf, for me, it's like, oh, it was this week or was last week? Because it's only 1 week and it seems like it's past like a month, no? It's everything is moving very, very fast, very, very fast. That's only what I wanted to say.
So right about that. I remember we used to launch product every 6 months, then every 3 months, then we moved to sprint because we launch things every week. And now even the
Yeah.
sprint looks super slow compared with what AI is producing.
My thing is that we're going to finish with Google and OpenAI, like the big leaders and all these startups being consumed. What's going to happen? I think that if you see or they're going to be the Chinese are going to take over. Like I don't know what's going to happen, and that's really intriguing.
If you look at the history of it, that's a little bit what happened so far, the way Google and everybody else acquired, started. We shall see. They do have a certain amount of power, let's put it that way.
Estonia is going to recognize an AI as a human, and they will incorporate there and then take over the entire world and wipe Google and Apple and all these others out. It'll be an AI run world.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing how Estonia actually in the world of technology is really in the leadership role so often. It's people just don't think of that country as being a country.
Is that news? Actual news?
No, that was a joke. That was a
Okay.
joke.
Yeah, you just never know.
But if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be them.
Yeah, they're usually they usually get into things really quickly. They're either bleeding edge or they're fast followers. Yeah.
Has there been any country that has recognized AI as a legal entity?
I think I'll start a Kickstarter campaign. We should like do a GoFundMe to get somebody to do that for us, and then we'll stake the AI to take over the world on our behalf.
If a corporation can be a legal person, then there's no problem in AI being. AI is a hell of a lot smarter than most corporations.
That's true. Yeah.
Right. But are they hybrid? Does any country recognize a corporation that's driven by an AI?
They recognize Sophia, the robot, in Saudi Arabia as a citizen right now. I know that.
No.
Yeah.
Wow. That's scary precedent.
We won't be able to do that in France, but then AI will go on strike. So anyway.
But just on the comment on the pace of AI and all that and tools, we used to sort of, as over the years, many years, as developers and that, we used to sort of pick our stacks and develop toward whatever stack that was. Well, we can't afford to do that anymore. I think what you need to do is basically pick your prompting ability and don't rely on the tool set. Basically, whatever is in vogue at that particular point in time. The only caution I put up there is that you want your solutions, whatever solutions you produce, to be maintainable. So I still like to use tools that can actually produce outputs that I can actually maintain over time. So that's like Lovable is a good example where it creates TypeScript, which is like a type of JavaScript, and so that is maintainable. I don't really care how it produces the script. I want to have great prompting abilities to produce it, but I want to make sure that I've got something that I can maintain as an enterprise. When I say I mean an enterprise that I can maintain from an enterprise perspective, and so that's kind of really focus on your prompting techniques. Don't worry so much about the tools, but when you do use tools, try to use tools that produce output that you can actually maintain over time if that tool goes away, because most of these vendors, those tools are going to go away.
Yeah, I want to comment about the coding tools in regards to frameworks and picking your stack. So different tools have different strengths. And actually, in a recently, the Claude, that's Anthropic Claude, the actual system prompts were leaked recently. And if you looked at the system prompts, they explicitly specify which frameworks that they start with. So every AI tool will have a preference. So like Replit, when it's doing Python, I see it use Streamlit for its UI. And for like Cursor does Cursor with Claude does React and Next.js very well. But when you try to use a different framework, it fails miserably. So you can't just simply say, this is my favorite framework and I'll use this tool, because sometimes the tool is not familiar with your framework and won't do that well. So and that also favors popular frameworks rather. So like React will be well supported because it's very popular. But if you get like a not well-known framework, then it won't work as well.
Yeah, I try to stick to React and JavaScript, TypeScript for most of what I'm building for the enterprise, using whatever tool. Like I use Cursor a lot.
Any other news that you guys want to explore? I see your comment, Ben. What you saw that game? What was the speed of thought idea behind it?
It's basically using AI to create new universes. So everybody can create their own game and invite other people to play inside of it. It's similar I think in approach to some of the previous games we see. I can't quite remember the one that the world builder that everybody, people are using of all generations for so long. I think this is like on steroids, on AI steroids. So they're getting a lot of traction really fast, like tens of thousands of users, I think, per week. And this was a month ago now, so who knows where they are now. But check it out. It's a super cool game if you're into it.
When you say they, who are you referring to? What game?
It's called Storycraft, storycraft.gg. It's a little bit up in the chat.
I put it in a new message.
Okay, cool. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Other news. I'll put this into the chat actually. But if you're in Vancouver in a couple weeks, STS will be presenting. So we have a booth and we'll be presenting. It's a world-class event. It's kind of the follow-up of Collision. If you've ever been to Collision, that was always a really good event. They held that in Toronto for a few years. I think it was New Orleans and years before that, and it's going to be in Vancouver for the next 3 years. But it's a very good event. Great speakers. I think it's one of the best tech events I've been to outside of South by Southwest.
Is it also online?
I don't know how much is going to be online. I haven't seen that there's like an online portal for like catching videos and stuff, but their social media is pretty good. So I'll keep you guys updated if there's a way to kind of like log in and watch.
2 seminars for the end of the week. David, go for it.
Yeah, I would like to share briefly about an experiment I've been doing, which is I don't have this like prepared, but basically what I've been doing is I created a Chat GPT thread designed to create a new language optimized for generating songs with Suno. It's called Flow Speak, and so it's using like white space and punctuation along with words and lyrics to kind of like sculpt a song in using like visual text. And then when I give it to Suno, then it transforms that into a song. And it's like you can do like really in-depth things because you can use like square brackets for annotations. So you can do square brackets and be like falsetto voice with a crazy beat drop. And then along with like using white space and punctuation. And you can use punctuation in different ways. Like if you like surround it with like what's it called, like less than and greater than signs, then it like makes the sound like echo. And if you use like asterisks, if you do like asterisk asterisk bang asterisk asterisk, then in the song it makes like a bang sound, like boom. So I've been like exploring with that and like creating this Chat GPT that can help me to like kind of compose and craft a really original sounding music using these advanced text to sound language.
Is
I
that
don't know if that made
something
any
you
sense
can
at all.
share? Is that something you can put the link to one of these ChatGPT? We can play with that later on.
I cannot link to the Chat GPT, no, but I can link to one of the songs.
Yeah, that'd be cool. If you have never listened to David's songs, I have. There's quite a choice. There's a lot of them that you will find something. I found 2-3 genres that I absolutely love. So, wait.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you have them on YouTube, I believe. So
Yeah, they're on YouTube.
yeah, put one of the latest one. Yeah, that's cool. So you
Oh
guys
yeah.
know what, little break this afternoon. Go check them.
Yeah, so I'll just show you really quick. Like, so this one's called "I Am Nothing, Remember to Live," and then here in the lyrics, like I put like asterisks here, and then it says like "Now breathe" with these symbols around it, and then depending on how how it annotates the words, it like creates the sound differently. And then you can also like annotate it like this. So I was like this. So then like when it reaches this part, then it like creates a music version of these symbols. And I was like really blown away. Also, someone said that you can use HTML to annotate. So like here it like bolds it. Um, and you can also say like repeat X3. So yeah, this was really fun. And then like so what I'm doing is like my like end goal for like this experiment is to release something called AI Rap Album. That's like a collection of very original sounding rap songs. And yeah, I'll stop sharing there.
That's pretty cool. So the link you shared is one of these songs we can listen to later on.
Yeah, it's this song right here that I just showed.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. And I know you have many genres. You even had reggae one, which I really loved. The last piece of news I'll share before we move into Lovable, I just went to Leila's page. Where is my list of two? Here we go. And just pulled some news, and there was different. Let me see, share. Here we go. There was many different articles in it. One of them that I really like before we got into this slide specifically is in the conference now there where they tell you to really integrate AI as a worker, expect errors, continue to train it and retrain it and train. They are making it like it's really, we're talking as AI as a person, is really the mindset that they are in the seminars, like bring it to your office, train it, is going to screw up here and there, retrain it, keep improving. And the mindset is really going around treating it like an employee. And separately, but still in news, what you see here, so look at the IT budget for 2025. So granted, I didn't know what was 2024, but you see generative AI, that's a survey of about 3,000 IT specialists, 45% of the budget on generative AI. More than security, more than compute, more than everything behind. And look at in terms of employees as well. So most of you have your own company, but look in terms of employees, 92% will hire generative AI talent at different level. But still, you can in between the moderate and extensive, you're already about 64%. So I just found these numbers interesting. As always, we have the link. We'll put it back in the chat if you want. There's many more news from Leila. Any feedback on that?
Yes, I want to say that there was a news that Shopify and Duolingo, both of them send a memo to the employees that they have to use because they have to use AI, and if they are asking for to have more people to hire, if they need help, they have to show that they are using that AI can do it. So the memo, especially for Duolingo, was very hard. So what it's telling us is that companies every time they are going to rely more on AI, of the employees to use AI to fill the work, no? If they so the I think that yes, the places to work are going to be reduced. So just in a few months, I don't think that it's going to be like, okay, let's wait. No, I think that it's already happening, but the numbers don't show that.
Yeah. I think that's across the board. I mean, CrowdStrike laying off 500 people, and they're one of the best cybersecurity companies.
Yeah, but we have seen like last year, Microsoft. I think that a lot of in the software companies, a lot of companies just lay off a lot of people. So
Yeah, I think the numbers I saw last week was 2 to 3 years, 30 to 40% of the jobs would be affected. Not necessarily fired, but affected. You mean you'll be doing something else if the company will regret. Oh, Greg was giving this demonstration 2 weeks ago in his company. He used AI to create the messaging to get everything on eBay for his product, and therefore he took 2 of his guys that were doing that full time, and now they're doing something else. So not necessarily fired, but definitely job change. And yep, we see that everywhere. And I'm with you. What I think the quote was like, we only hire people if we can prove that AI cannot do the job. Was the quote for Duolingo. Yeah. Cool. Any last comment, any last question before we jump into Lovable? Anybody else? Anyone else has something?
I just wanted to seek. I think Ben, you've been doing something with AI and spatial, the spatial side. So I think related to the fires, and then somebody else expressed an interest in that last meeting as well. I've got a little bit of an initiative going on to sort of linking AI with geographic information systems, and I'm actually my second career was basically GIS. I had a GIS software company, and so I'm just putting it out there. If there's anybody that's interested in sort of exploring that more, I've started to explore. I'm a big ArcGIS user, and then I also use the open source QGIS as well. And there's now MCP interfaces to the GIS, so you can actually use development tools and things like N8N to access the GIS, so you can create processes that way. So I'm exploring that right now, but if there's anybody else interested in that, please get in touch with me, because I'd like to sort of build a sort of a, I don't know, we haven't really talked about subgroups here, but it would be nice to have a subgroup focusing on AI and GIS integration.
Yeah, Bill, I got David's number a little bit, or I got your number from David a little late. I did try to call you last week. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
I did want to say also, I've been doing something, if anybody's heard of AMP Robotics, they do trash sortation using AI and like RAG Weaviate style techniques. Mm-hmm. And I have opportunity to talk with my local government in a couple of weeks at the Board of Supervisors meeting to use AI and robotics to help deal with our trash issue. So I'm looking for any kind of interest in that. And Bill, yes, I did try to get in touch with you. Sorry about that. But
okay, sorry. Better through email for me. But
okay, great.
Yeah, as you brought up another just on that topic, I had a meeting with my second client that I have with doing AI in the enterprise, and they're in warehousing and logistics, and they want to. They're quite progressive, and they want to integrate AI with drones, and they have massive warehouses, and they're not just massive from a horizontal perspective. They have 4 stories high as well, and there's just shelves everywhere, and it's all very well managed. But they want to fly drones, continuously fly drones around in the warehouse to monitor what's going on. Because there's the weights of these things are quite that some of these warehouses store really large things, and so the actual stands that hold everything up can shift, and then they want to monitor. They even want to monitor when potential accidents might happen with all of the vehicles that are sort of moving in and out of the warehouse environment and putting things on shelves and all this kind of stuff. But they want to integrate a drone. The continuous visual AI with drones, and then using that with AI to determine where potential problems could be in the warehouse. So it was just a pretty neat application, and it was quite, they're into robotics as well, so they're just getting into that. So they actually monitor humans using various equipment, and then also the robotics as well that are involved in there, and using AI to sort of detect any sort of safety problems or any issues that are happening within the warehouse. So it was pretty cool to hear them say this, in our meeting where we're just sort of introducing them to AI right now. Yeah.
So Bill, Ben, what I invite you to do while you're on this call is when we jump into the breakout room when we are done with Lovable, if you want to go in a business breakout room, you can start the conversation there on the, for the location tracking and so on. And anybody who wants to join can also go there. So let's move on now to thank you so much for this, Bill. Let's move on to the Lovable portion. David, thank you very much for taking us through this about what Lovable is about and how you're using it yourself.
Yes, thank you, Christophe. So yeah, Lovable is a free tool for building web apps from text. You can sign up using the link in the chat. I just threw together this presentation, but my intention is mostly to blow your mind about what's possible. So I've been creating like a bunch of different proof of concepts. And yeah, Lovable is like software at the speed of thought, building interactive prototypes with AI and Lovable. And it's really like removing the gap between idea and reality. And so like last week or 2 weeks ago, I was at an ecstatic dance event. And at the end of the event, I shared with the group about an event that I was hosting called Full Moon Fusion. And I also had a poster with a picture of a meditating chicken that said, "The key is inside the coop." And then my friend liked that poster and she was like, it would be cool if there was a website that had a picture of a coop and then you tap on it and then it opens up and there's a meditating chicken inside with a floating key and then you tap on the key and then and then you get an invite to Full Moon Fusion. And then literally I just pulled out my phone and just typed in exactly what she said. And then by the time that we got downstairs, I already had the event, I already had the website to share with her. And so this is what it created for me. So it says the key is inside the coop, tap to discover the wisdom within. And you tap, and now there's a chicken with a floating key. It says inner peace. The chicken holds the key to wisdom. And it says you found the key to Full Moon Fusion. And then it gives the event information. And then down here it has a button and then it goes to like actually sign up. So that was like that experience is what really like got me interested in exploring Lovable even more because I was like, wow, that was really powerful to just have her just like say sentences out loud. And then by the time we got downstairs, I already had a website to share with her. So what is Lovable? It's no code magic. It transforms prompts into functional websites instantly. It's AI plus simple UI, creating lightning fast MVPs and landing pages. And it also has powerful features like natural language editing. You can have forms in there and you can export to GitHub. So this is like, it's not a what it's not is it's not a website building tool like WordPress or like Squarespace. Those are you build a website and then you're building like on their platform. But with Lovable, you're generating real JavaScript, CSS, HTML code that you can export to GitHub. So it's like literally building like real software that you can export and use anywhere anytime you want. And I'm going to be showing you several use cases that I built out over the last like couple weeks. One of them is called orchestrated AI. And yes, so like I'm going to show all of them, but orchestrated AI. So this one came about from a conversation I had with my friend Bobby, who recently lost his job. And then I kind of had this conversation with him about AI agents, and also shared about like AI readiness assessments. And also I shared about like the talk that Patrick gave. And then so just from the transcript of that Zoom call I had with him, I was able to generate a full website. And that one looks like this. So this was created with Lovable in just one shot. Autonomous revenue, conscious design, replace outdated sales ops with AI agents that generate leads, close business, and scale your impact while you reclaim your time. We build intelligent systems that do the work for you. And so it has these buttons. It gives you like these nice things about why outdated ops are draining growth. It has this nice 3-layer agent stack, replace, multiply, free. It created this, meet the founders, Bobby and David. It like created these little bios. This was just like based on the conversation that we had. Yeah, like pretty much this was all created through a transcript of a Zoom call, laying out potential use cases, roadmap, and then down here it created this agent readiness quiz that you can tap through, and then it asks like questions, and then you input your info, and then here, and then there's just one additional thing that you have to do. Like once Lovable creates the app, is you can connect it with something called Form Spree. So Form Spree is a free tool, and it just you create a form, it gives you a URL, and then you give that URL to Lovable, and then it'll email you the results of all the forms here. And yeah, it also has like this. Cool. So that's one use case. I already showed you the event landing page with Full Moon Fusion. Something else that I did with it was some like so like I was I don't know if you'd call it consulting, but I was like supporting a single mom who was looking to increase her sales to pay rent. And so basically she had this Notion doc here called Angelic and Co., where it has like information about products that she sells. And so what I did was just grab all of this, copy paste it into Lovable, and then what output was this. So it looks like a pretty polished website. It even has like this thing at the top. Luxury, purity, timeless beauty, shop the collection. So this goes to her other website. But it like has this, and then she was giving me some like inputs saying like, okay, at the top of the website, give a link to join the Angelic Alliance. So like it's just like a back and forth with the AI. You just like say, add this section that links to this, read the full story. And so it like has all of this with her products with these little cards. You click like shop now, and then it goes to the page. Um, so yeah, so that's another use case. So this is like e-commerce consulting, I guess, or like translating a Notion document into a website. Something else that I built was and then like similarly, this is like I guess you would call consulting or for my friend Brina. So like she had a Google Doc that like listed out the services that she offers for a voice and movement therapy. So I just like copy pasted what was in her Google Doc, and then it just transforms it into this website. So it has all these services and offerings here listed out clearly, her upcoming workshops. You can like click on it, it goes to the sign up form, lists her therapy packages, join the community. So yeah, so that's another use case. And something else I did was I have this like product concept for something called Full Moon Fusion cards. And so this is like a physical card deck where each card has a journaling prompt and a QR code that connects you to an AI. And so what I did was had ChatGPT create the information about this product and then put it into Lovable. So now I have like this landing page that explains that it's a multi-dimensional ecosystem bridging spiritual practice, AI, gamified identity work, and physical product design for transformational growth. And then it explains it's a 12 card moon deck. So it's like you have like these ideas and visions, and then this tool is able to like format it in the form of a landing page. So you can really like understand and communicate like the vision really clearly, and it's like super fast. And then like additionally, like it's giving me new information that I might not have even thought of. Um, so yeah, like really loving everything it creates. And this is like with like almost no input. This one I didn't change at all. All I did was copy paste something that Chat GPT output for me into this.
That's Lovable? Is that what you're using?
Yeah, lovable. Another use case is creating like a guided experience. So something I do is called Breathe and Scribble, which is a mindfulness-based creative practice that helps you tap into emotions, clear mental clutter, and access your intuitive flow through breath and spontaneous drawing. So what I did was I gave the process of Breathe and Scribble to Lovable and then had it do like a step-by-step experience. And then it explains, so here it would be good to like add an image, but it explains the first step, step 2, step 3. So it like guides through the experience of Breathe and Scribble. And then, yeah, and then it says what's next. And then it gives you these things: share your creation, transform your art using ChatGPT, join the Full Moon Fusion community, or start over. So this is like a guided user experience that integrates the real world and a website. So I showed all these. Another interesting use case is if you have like a Facebook ad or like a Facebook post where you're trying to gather a certain type of person. So this one is like a musician network. So I like made a Facebook post saying something about like building a musician network. So then I went to Lovable and then it created this website for me where it asks these questions: what instruments do you play? What genres, user experience, and then submit application. So like if you're trying to convert like cold leads into warm leads where you have more information about them, Lovable can create these forms, landing pages in like just like 1 minute. And then you can start using it to collect information about users. A couple more use cases, and I'm going to show like a live demo of building it out in a second. Actually, let me do that. So since it takes time. So this is what Lovable looks like. And what I'm going to be showing is creating a landing page for the AI working group. So here I have this Notion document that's like an onboarding guide for the AI working group. So I can attach this image. So you can attach images, which are kind of like a vision board. It'll include the images, but it also will learn from the style of the images. And then oh wait, no, this one. So I can just copy paste this into here and I'll say like create a landing page for the AI working group and then paste that. So what it's doing now is it's reading through this. It says working down here. And it's going to, based on the inputs, design the website and then build the website. So while it's doing that, I'll just show the rest of my examples. So it's also very useful for if you want to like host a summit or a conference. So I had a vision for an AI for Peace summit, raising the vibration of peace on earth. Once a being takes freedom, they do not go back to sleep. And so I was able to just put this information into Lovable, and it has these different buttons: join as an attendee. So it created this form. It created all these questions like on its own. So I didn't write this form. What aspects of AI and peace interest you most? What do you hope to gain? Register as an attendee. We'll reach out with more information. Hitting back, become a guide. This is a facilitator application. Your expertise, proposed session, website, social media links. Again, I didn't choose these questions. Like Lovable created them on its own. So here it explains what is the AI for Peace Summit. It gives what we'll explore, who's this for: healers, coaches, mentors, creative technologists, peacekeepers, curious humans. Choose your path. You can join as an attendee, a facilitator, or join the mission. Cosmic Liberator application for artists, creators, and visionaries. Yeah, and then again, so like, and then the forms, I use something called Form Spree. So one of my consultants told me about Form Spree. So it's like really simple. You just like click like new form, and then it gives you this link, and then you just copy the link and put it in Lovable and be like, use this endpoint for the form. So with those, with Lovable plus FormSpree, you can start sharing information and collecting forms. Yeah, so there's that one, and then let's check on our generation. It says it loves the concept, the image is beautiful, it's designing. Okay, so it's still working on that. Another thing that I used it for is creating this website as like a form of like a job application. So I have a role that I'm hiring for called Summer Youth Enrichment Apprentice. Help create and teach youth courses this summer. Apply now, learn more. It has this information. It gives an overview, role details, who you are, opportunities for you, join our community, exponential education community. Which, by the way, you're all invited to join this exponential education community where I share updates on the educational content and courses that I'm building. And then here it even has chat with our AI assistant to submit your application. Welcome to get started. What's your email? And then it says, what's your name? And then it asks like 3 questions. What excites you most about this opportunity? What skills or energy do you bring to the role? Are you available and committed to be present for the summer season? And it says, thank you, type submit or any message to finalize. And then boom, application submitted. So then now I get an email that has their answers that they just typed in there. I also added a little donation thing. And then there's an open roles. So there's 2 open roles. This is like, it's like pretty much the same role, but I was able to create this other version that just has like slightly different information.
And David, do you email that out, or how do you get this information out to the audience?
Yeah, like this website, for example, I would send it to people that I think might be a good fit for the role.
Where is it hosted? On Lovable? Where is it hosted? Or do you have a...
Yeah, it's hosted on Lovable. So when you create with Lovable, it gives you this youth-flow-catalyst.lovable.app. And from what I can tell, it stays up and it stays hosted. Yeah, using this URL. And okay, so it tried to build it and it had build errors. So it says this, but then you just say like fix build errors. And I just have one more example to share. So like I have a friend who is working on a film called Lakshmi, and she wants to start a newsletter for her film while she's like raising capital. So like this was again like based on a conversation with her. So I like talked to her like, what do you want to include in the newsletter? Those types of questions, and based on her answers. So you can see here there's like a bug sometimes, like this is just white and you have to highlight to see view past issues. But like just based on that conversation, it says like, what is Lakshmi? Film teaser, daily letters from the edge of the myth, what you'll receive. So like this is like what she spoke to me that you'll receive, recent subject lines, support the story with different donation tiers, watch now. So this is like, I asked her like, what are 3 ways you can monetize this? She said collecting donations. She said selling access to watch the first version of the film, and then also like owning the screenplay. And then she also has like coaching packages. So it just put the coaching packages here. Who is behind Lakshmi? So this is like based on just what she said in this conversation with me. So this data is made up right here. But I asked her like, what's your goal for the newsletter? To reach 5,000, to raise $1 million, and to post every day for 14 days. So it created that based on the conversation. Yeah, so that's all the examples that I brought. Let's see how this live one is going. I can close that. All right, cool. So it says, welcome to the AI Working Group. Build a future where all have access to meaningful, purpose-driven, and rewarding work. Join our community and learn more. Let's see where this goes. So if you click join the community, it goes to the new member onboarding WhatsApp chat. And this can all be like changed and customized, but let's see. So it has that picture, our massive transformative purpose, the 4 true norths. What does learn more do? Okay, cool. If you click learn more, it goes to the WhatsApp. Do they all go to WhatsApp? Oh, they're nice. The AI leadership. So yeah, it goes to AI leadership check-in, collaborate. That just goes to the actual meeting link. So you kind of have to go through and like test all the links and see where they go. Sign up for AI coaching, try the GPT of the week, join the WhatsApp community. And then, so then from here, what you can do is say, so like I have this other document that goes through all the WhatsApp groups that we have. So then I would say like under the join the WhatsApp community card, add a button to explore all of the WhatsApp groups. Here are the descriptions and links. All right, so what it's going to do, I'm guessing, is create a new page and then add a button here, which will then explain all of those links. And then like something else we could do is like copy paste this collaboration directory and ask it to add it to the website. But it can only do one thing at a time, it seems like. Let me just see if I went through all these examples. Yeah, so I went through all those examples and then we built the AI working group landing page. And yeah, that's my presentation.
Any questions for David? How is that different from the first tool we talked about at the beginning of the call with Mark?
Replit?
Yeah.
I've used Replit before. Replit started as an in-browser IDE. So this does have an IDE, kind of. It has like dev mode, where you can see all the source code. So like if I wanted to, I could like make changes here. Replit like started as an IDE and then like added AI features. This one is like started as just text to code. And I found Lovable to just be like super fast to go from like idea to deployed website. Replit, when I've tried it, it's like they have like different payment tiers, and then you have to like upgrade your plan if you want to deploy, and you can only deploy one thing or three things. And then if you have, and then I like got locked into this Replit thing where I had already deployed like three, and then they changed their plans, and then I like lost access to the code that I wrote. And so that kind of like turned me off of Replit overall, and I haven't gone back to that. So, all right, cool. So it's, yeah.
David, thank you so much. So I think we have about 26 minutes left. Let's look at the last. Did he produce the last result? Yeah, he did.
Explore. So it made a
Dave,
drop down
that was excellent.
announcements.
Appreciate it.
Nice. Yeah. So now it has this little drop down.
David, have you tried like in Claude, something like that?
No, I don't use Claude. I use Chat GPT.
Okay.
So to continue this conversation around Lovable and kind of where you're going, Michael and Miguel, I'm sorry, and you go in the first
Mike, I'm going to put Mike there.
I'm doing a couple of things at once. I just created a breakout room. So if you want to continue the conversation on Lovable, please jump in the first breakout room. I'm opening it right now. If you want to go talk, Bill and Mike, I think you want to talk about the location or business, the idea that we discussed earlier, go into business, and then all the other rooms are open. Go in them. If you find yourself alone in a room, you can absolutely move to a different room. We'll see you in about 19 minutes. Thank you so much, David. That was really cool. It was not Mike, it was Ben. I don't know what I was thinking, Mike. David, if you go in Lovable, I'll have a few questions for you. Mike.
Yeah.
You have a couple of people joining right there if you want.
Okay, yeah, I'll go in there. Someone just asked about.
Okay, I'll go there first so they know you're coming.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. See you soon, guys.
I need to read the chat to see if there's anything I missed first.
So are you moving over to another meeting or?
You're asking me?
Be on this one together.
What's that? Or just a few? I didn't catch what people were saying there.
Oh, so now there's breakout rooms. So breakout rooms are an opportunity to choose where you want to go. One of them is called Continue Conversation on Lovable. One of them is called Business, Ethics, Education, Tech Development, and Health. And I can move you if you would like.
Yeah, I've got it here. I'm just trying to. All right, I'll jump in on the lovable one.
Cool. And how about you, Mark?
I'm happy to stay with you if you like.
I'm gonna move to Lovable.
Okay.
So, would you like me to move you there?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I was on mute. Welcome back to the main room. All right, there was two main groups, one to discuss Lovable and one to discuss technology. I spent 19 minutes with Lovable. I just showed up in the last group to have a quick chat. So please, Bill or somebody from that group, if you could kind of summarize a little bit what you covered during this breakout. You're on mute.
I said anybody else. I talk too much in that room, so I'll leave it to somebody else.
Right. Who would like to share a little bit of what was discussed, conveyed in that with something part that we will need to know? Come on, guy. No time to be shy. Don't make me volunteerize you. Ed, because I have the privilege to know you, what was the part of the conversation you could that interested you that you found useful for you?
Okay. I admit some of it was over my head, but a part of the discussion that I was interested in was when don't remember the gentleman's name, Ben, when he was talking about a solution that he was trying to build, like in terms of monitoring water usage for farmers in California. That seemed like a great idea. While he was talking to him, trying to figure out how the AI would have access to that information. Is that public information that the AI could gain access to? If it is, then there should be a couple of tools out there that should be able to take that data and turn it in such a way that can be useful information that whoever wanted to use it. But I was just thinking ahead about how something like that can be deployed.
Very cool. Very cool. And feel free to continue to touch base with anyone from that conversation in WhatsApp or any other way. Thank you so much, Ed, for summarizing this. Apologize to go to you directly as I know you. From the Lovable group. So David, Dr. Chapman, or Connie, would you like to, you're the main Mark as well. Which one of you would like to convey what was discussed?
Yeah, we just talked about Lovable. People had some questions about like the capabilities and the differences between like using Lovable versus WordPress or Wix. Also, we had questions about integrating like a CRM with like a form that's on Lovable. And so the answer to the last question is like in your CRM, you can create an embeddable, like a form embeddable, and put that into Lovable. And Lovable is like built-in code with HTML and JavaScript. So you can get that code and put that into your WordPress site if you wanted to keep your WordPress site as the overall shell with different Lovable components like within it. And we also talked about like could you use Lovable to create like a big website with like 50 different job descriptions, like one for each state or something like that Connie was asking about. And then I haven't tried that personally, but like I think you could. And yeah, I think that about covers it.
A fruitful conversation on top, back and forth, different people you have been using different source for, and also we discuss how to send email, different application to send email, different price. They should be on the chat. If you look on the chat, these are the couple that we discussed. I see them. Sandfox, Gravel are there. FormSpree is the one that you use, David, to get form inside the website as well. You just have to integrate pretty much the URL that was provided. So really cool, very productive conversation. All right, 12:29. Thank you.
Wait, I want to use this last minute as an ad. I created a new platform called Exponential Education, and I put the link in the chat. And I would love for all of you to join. I'm teaching summer youth enrichment programs for the second summer, starting in 1 month. And so I created this platform, and if you're interested in collaborating on one of the courses, we can have like a co-creation session. But otherwise, you can join, and then I'm going to be like just sending out some updates about the courses I'm creating, and also adding like different pathways for people who want to learn how they can be a youth enrichment program instructor themselves. So I put the link in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Save your chat, as always. Make sure you grab the information was discussed today. Thank you so much for your participation. We learned a lot today, thanks to all of you. Very much appreciated. I will be out next week. I'm in a seminar. I'll be back in 2 weeks. So I don't know, David, Miguel, somebody will manage, will facilitate the call. Thank you again all very much. You have an outstanding week and see you very soon. Take care. And David will send me the recording. I'll post it online this afternoon. So if you want to review piece of this conversation, take care.
Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.